Again, really solid performance by our opponent today. They kind of got us in all phases. We made a few plays in the kick game. Defense gave up some stuff, stopped the run, but we we didn't defend the pass offensively. Even though we didn't throw it well, we really, if you take out a couple of the big runs, we didn't consistently run it well. So it just kind of got beat up front, beat at the line of scrimmage, and just got to continue to. We expect more, we're better than that. And at the same time, Maryland played very, very well, so I do not want to undermine them. I thought they were very, very good coming in. It would be a tough challenge. Like I said, we just got to play a lot better across the board. Just got beat in all phases, coaching and everything. So.
Kevin, were you concerned about how your team would handle success after what happened last week?
I don't know if I'd say concerned. We talked about it early, about just we had a good week of work. Like I said, as much as anything, we just got kind of beat at the line of scrimmage. I mean, there wasn't, what did we finish with? One turnover there, and that was at the end on a go ball. So we weren't sloppy. And we had good preparation. We got a good group of dudes. I got a lot of respect and love for those kids in there. Kind of wanted for those guys really bad because they do a lot of really good things. So I thought we had a solid week. It could always be better, but I didn't think it was bad. We weren't beating our chest. We talked about how really good players and good teams repeat the process, and you got to get back into preparation and game planning and study, and you're getting your body right. And let's have a good week and not come out and play, and let's go after it. And like I say, we just disappointed again. Line of scrimmage, their ability to nickel and dime, keep us going, our inability to not do so, and like I say, just kind of got beat. I don't think it was because of last week. I get we could say that, because we did lose. But, last week was last week, and we didn't try to dwell on it. We got some things to learn from this week as coaches and players, and we won't dwell on that. We'll try to learn as best as we can, put together a good plan, because North Texas being open date, we'll be in here ready to roll at 2:30 next week. We need to go next week.
Why do you think you had so much? This is such a good offensive team, your team. Why do you think you had so much difficulty moving the ball today?
To me, line of scrimmage. We just, we got behind chains, so when we ran the ball sometimes. So again, we'll look at game planning and schematics and tendencies and things we can do. We didn't really necessarily repeat the same thing because we didn't see the same opponent, structure-wise. So, you pick your spots. You got a lot of stuff in your arsenal. You pick what to do. So we'll look at what we did, but. As much as anything, at the line of scrimmage, they kind of owned us a little bit, and then they got us behind things, started dropping guys into coverage where windows were tight or pressuring, and the quarterback not having some time. So just like say, just got our butts whipped. Coach, we'll look at schemes, see if we can help ourselves.
Coach, did you feel Nate had an off game, or was the passing game struggles? Do you attribute that to kind of what you're talking about up front?
I think, I think he managed it. He kind of made an adjustment on the one play through the pick, and that was my only question. I was like, why? Well, and by then the game was a little bit kind of in balance at 5.5, 6 minutes with 3 scores down. So I thought he managed some things okay. Again, he's going to look really good when his counterparts are working as a team. And today when we're blocking and the run wasn't consistent as we needed it to be, because you can look at those run stats. And it says, 200 yards and, whatever. But if you take out a couple, 3 of those big runs, you got a bunch of negative and 0 and 1 and 2 and 3 yard runs. So, you're getting 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 too long. And then from there, they did a great job with their coverage and blitz stuff. And, like I say, he just, he had a couple drops, that he had. So, he's got to play better. But at the same time, I think as a team, our offense, let him down more than anything he did. I'm pretty sure of that. And as coaches, we let him down.
What did Maryland do offensively to hurt you guys?
Not a lot unusual. They were going to do some stuff with the quarterback run game, tempo a little bit. They had enough balance. They had enough success at the line of scrimmage to stay on schedule and to work their play actions, their screens, their shots. So again, like I said, I think you lose the game, and we really got to be better at both lines of scrimmage because we lost the game up front. That's disappointing.
Coach, it looked like you won the line of scrimmage last week, and I agree. That's what it looked like it happened today. They were winning the line of scrimmage. The one place I thought maybe you got worked a little bit in terms of your defense was when they were throwing screens to the wide side. Was there anything schematic there that you saw?
No, as much as, again, if you if you put numbers in normal downs to take advantage, for example, even if they go empty, that quarterback was going to run the draw or be a part of it, so you still had to count for him. So mathematically, unless you're going cover zero, if you're playing some type of help coverage, whether it be one high or two high, they're kind of outnumbered. And then from there, the ball just got in space, and a couple times we just didn't fit it, and we lost leverage on the ball. So some times where, a play should go for 4 or 6, it went for 8, 10, 12, 14, because we got blocked, we didn't trap it right, we didn't leverage right and squeeze it down. So bottom line, because of the quarterback run game factor, the box was always, you need to take care of it. And if you didn't, they were going to run it well. When you did, whether it be their screens, Andy, or those one-on-one shots that they got us with.
What happened with Spriggs there at the end?
I think he said someone fell into his leg, and they said he was good to go, could come back. They taped him up. But at the time where it was, I just said, Peyton Eckert kind of came in for him. He's played a lot, and I told Greg, let's just kind of shut him down. So we'll see where he is moving forward. It wasn't, like I say, they said he was good to go back, but by the time, three scores, 5 minutes, we didn't put him back in.
Kevin, at the end of the first half, you had the record-setting field goal. You seemed to have some momentum. What needed to happen in the second half, and what kind of went wrong there?
Need to get that first drive going, because you had momentum going in at halftime, and then we kind of lost it. We went 3 and out. They had a long drive. I think that we had another short possession. They had 2 long drives to start with, so it's kind of like we came out of the locker room, and they kind of owned the first part of the third quarter. And then from there, we were uphill sledding. So we kind of weathered the storm. We had a couple plays called back. The field goal was kind of nice. You're kind of in the game. It's 20-9. It's maybe a little closer than the score was, and you got the ball, and you do nothing. And they have a nice drive. You get the ball back again, do nothing, and from there it's a little bit of uphill sled.
Coach, you talked about a couple of plays being called back. You had 2 touchdowns called back. Second one on a holding call on Keeney. Did you discuss that with the refs at all on the sidelines?
No, just as much as, again, there's going to be calls, so, there was a situation one time where it was substitution, we're supposed to be allowed to get, hey, mechanically, I just had to take a timeout. I thought we were getting ready to not be lined up, and at the same time, it's my prerogative to call timeouts to help us. I thought we needed one, and from there, I just tried to make a point to them that I didn't think was right, but those guys do a good job. It's part of it. Where we're at building a team, we can sit and talk about that. We're blue in the face of whatever. We just told our guys, inside as you're building your team, you're not going to get a bunch of split decisions. You got to knock people out. So if you're waiting for things to get a bunch of good bouncers, or you got to make your own fortune by being aggressive and attacking. And we were not that way. Our opponent was, and that's why they won. And they clearly won the game. And credit to those guys because they clearly won the game.
Couple more. Didn't see Mark Murphy didn't start saying, didn't really see nothing much.
Yeah, he tweaked the ham Wednesday's practice. And they actually went out and warm-ups, and we thought on Friday he probably maybe was out, but they still want to try. And so he wasn't at disposal, but I think it's minor enough that there'll be a good shot for next week. It was good if he dressed at the same time when he I think it was Wednesday's practice when he put, might have been Tuesday. But by the time that had happened, he tried to get back, but I don't think that was a factor. Chase Dutra did a nice job in there for him, which is good to see. And Mark will come back and do well, hopefully this week.
Defensively, how much of it was a challenge just to see the big plays being given up, and also with, specifically like 3rd and 12, 3rd and 17, like having them in there?
The third downs were critical. One time the guy's on a speed option, I think, and it's 3rd and 16, 17, his speed is, nice play call, great execution. So when you got him on schedule, you want to get him off a couple of times. We let him off. We're a little bit better. For example, a week ago, we're 1 of 14 on 3rd downs win. Today, you're 9 of 19. But you consistently didn't have the plays. Last week, we had a lot of consistency within the flow of the game. And defensively, we were 5 of 14 on 3rd down, but we let them off on a couple or shoot, they're 3 of 14. The big plays, that was going to be a little bit of concern because they, with their quarterback run game, were going to work us a little bit if we didn't load it up. And by loading it up, again, every time you stop there, everybody says, boy, your D-line's playing great, but it's those backer safety corner fits that make so much of a difference. When you do that, you got to hold on in coverage, and with their receivers, they took advantage. Protection held up. Quarterbacks made shots. They were 22 of 33. It's a big day for them to pass in game 360.
Did you have an explanation on the unsportsmanlike conduct?
No. I wasn't. I think I was just telling the crowd to get fired up. We're going to appreciate our fans. They were great today, and I apologize for them. that our guys didn't play like they were capable of. They'll keep fighting for them. We need a big crowd next week at 2:30, and it was great to have that crowd energy, and we'll get our guys back fighting back and play 60 minutes next week and have a good go.
All right, thanks,
Thanks.
guys.